In my house, we use fabric gift bags for birthdays and Christmas, all the holidays. I thought it would be really cool to make some Minecraft themed gift bags for the channel. I went to the store and I found so much cool fabric. This red polka dot looks like the giant mushrooms. I found some excellent green pixelated material, as well as brown, perfect for grass blocks. This brown wood grain reminded me of the oak trees, and then this gray fabric reminded me of stone, and could be a great background for diamond ore. The first bag I made was inspired by the grass block. This is an iconic Minecraft bag, and super simple. Let's load it up. And the next one is the mushroom. So again, this is pretty iconic, and if the next year your birthday theme is Mario, you're all good to go. Okay, let's load this one up. So now I started being a little more literal. So it's a mushroom. And if you do this, make sure you press your seams to the inside before you sew the bag together. Mushrooms are found on the Mushroom Island as well as in the dark forest. Speaking of forest, how about an oak forest? I mean, the first thing you do in any Minecraft game is punch a tree. So it's a pretty Minecraft bag without being too Minecraft. Now for some stone. You know what? This is pretty boring. Let's do something different with this one. Let's make it into diamond ore and emerald ore. So with these, we're going to get out some screen printing. So I made an overall design of the most common color and cut that out of wax paper. And then I'm going to hand paint in the other colors. All right, pull the screen, lift the screen, ta-da! Throw away the wax, easy cleanup, done. And then for all the other colors, I hand painted in each pixel using the fabric paint. After everything was ironed and ready to go, we just made up all the rest of the bags. I think the diamond ore and emerald ore idea on this stone turned out really, really nice.
Well, these turned out great. I mean, all they were inspired by some fabric I found at the store. I didn't put too much thought into them, but they're super fun. And I went from pretty simple, so these could be used for the goodie bags that maybe you give away to the guests, all the way up to a bit more detail for the actual gift recipient. So this one might be just a little bit more work, a little bit more special. And then of course, these being the ore, they get to go, you know, that maybe the best gift goes in these because they're so special. But what's next?
Well, what's next is going to be educating you on how to build these bags. So you can use my designs, sure, but what if your gift recipient's favorite Minecraft thing is like an axolotl or a rabbit or shoot, even a creeper? You know, they. So I want to empower you to be able to take your design and extend it out so that you have the sides and the seam allowances that you need, as well as the drawstring on top and the box corners. So that's the rest of this video. If that is what you're interested in, stick around, and if not, thanks for watching.
For these videos, my bag size was mostly dictated by what was going to fit nicely on the screen. And what I chose to do was a 10 by 10 inch frame. And so this is what we're going to call our design space. This is where you're going to build your design. So I've got this bag right here, and it's got something in it. So this is going to be great to show you what happens around the sides of your design. So this is my design. My design was to do emerald ore, and I stuck with a 10 by 10 frame, and then we're going to talk about the sides. So 10 by 10, and then on the sides you're going to add 1 inch for the box corner on all 3 sides, and then you are going to add a 1/2 inch on 3 of the sides, and that is for seam allowance. Okay, now up top is the drawstring. So again, we're going to look at this and we're going to scrunch it, and you're going to see, whoop, scrunched. So now the design is still there, but I had to have a little bit extra up top. So I went with 2.5. So up here is 2.5 inches. And that's just for that drawstring area. And then to actually make the drawstring, we're going to have 3 1/2 inch bands here. Okay, now those are terrible 2s. There we go. Haha. Okay, so 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And the way the drawstring is formed is you're going to fold on that 1/2 inch So not the first one. And then this is not actually going to be folded at the full 1/2 inch. We're going to fold it a little bit shy of the full 1/2 inch. Of course, you're going to get an iron and you're going to be super precise. So what happens is when we fold it over here, you can see that you're going to be making a stitch line at this point. So if we stitch here, then it's going to capture the whole other side as well as be able to catch and fold under. Okay, so from here, let's get sewing. I'm going to go ahead and do my major seam lines. I am going to start and stop my sewing right exactly at this point because I want this channel to stay open so that I can put my cord in here. And then on the bottom edge, I'm going to start and stop exactly at this point and or just make a right hand turn and continue along. Not all machines are immediately calibrated to a 1/2 inch, but because I made my seam allowance a 1/2 inch, I'm going to have to actually add blue tape and make a 1/2 inch seam allowance. With the main bag sewn together, the next step is to do box pleats. Box pleats are super easy. You just pull it apart right at the corner and align this seam here with this seam here, and then you're just going to go straight across, and what that does is it makes a little triangle. This is going to be 1 inch down because I'm doing 1 inch box pleats, but your bag might be bigger, you might have a deeper pleat. I feel like box corners give a really nice finish to a bag because when you flip it back out, it just ends up having a bottom. So if you have a box in here or anything, it just makes for a nicer base to a bag. Okay, so if you're going to do a lining, now is when you want to put the lining in. Lining is really necessary if your design is a really thin or lightweight fabric that you'd be able to see the gift inside the bag. But if it's a nice thick dense fabric, then 1 layer will be fine. You can do what you want with your seams. There's pinking shears, there's, oh, who cares? You can do what you want with your seams. But if I were going to sew in a lining, I would make this an identically sized bag, and I would sew the lining in here, right along this top edge. And then when we fold it down and down, the lining is going to be nice and hidden and tucked away inside, and nobody's going to see it. Now that we're to the drawstring, we've already got this edge kind of wanting to fold in, which is great. So we're going to continue to fold that edge in, and that'll make a nice clean edge for our drawstring. And then we do the first little fold, which gets rid of the raw edge, and then the second fold right along that line that I made earlier. And as you can see, I'm going to have just a smidge of overlap to my line on this side, and then I'll have a nice clean drawstring edge and no frayed edges sticking out anywhere along here. It's going to be great. Our sewing is all done and we get to the drawstring part. So my favorite kind of drawstring, I don't know what they're called officially, but I call them a double drawstring. And I think it's kind of clever and neat. So now from here, you're going to need one of these 2 tools. Safety pin is pretty traditional, but if you've never seen one of these tools, oh, they're so nice. And I'm going to use it because I love them. It pinches on to your cord like that, and then you slide this down and it holds the cord in place, which is really nice if you've got kind of a cord that frays a lot. These are even harder to use for that. But that's the other reason for having a 1/2 inch opening, because this piece right here is basically 1/2 inch is its happy place. So then you just push it on through, and then you keep on keeping on through the other side with the same cord. Release, and then you knot this cord here. Like so. And you're going to do the same thing, but starting from the opposite side with the other cord. So why this is so nice is that when you're ready to seal your bag, you just pull on both ends. And then you can make a nice bow on top. So there we go. There's our bag empty, but you can see how the pattern of the 10 by 10 design, it pinches a little bit at the top, but I don't want too much up here because this is enough to get the bag closed and still have your design in the front. T-shirts will even fit in here nice. Soup.
Hey, I got you some presents.
I love presents.
Well, I know you like Minecraft, so I put your gifts in some Minecraft-themed gift boxes.
Oh, thank you. But you know I hate creepers. Just the other day, a creeper blew up my base and all my stuff.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry you lost all your stuff. You know, come to think of it, does anyone actually like creepers?
Who is this gift for? Steve?
No, it's for you.
Oh, but I don't look like Steve. I look like Mystic Wanderer.
That's true. You are not Steve. I should try to come up with something more unique.
Well, if you want my help, my favorite thing in the game are the giant mushrooms. Oh, I also like the bunnies.
That gives me a great idea.